Hello everyone, I'm Alvarez. I'm the founder and creator of iLAAC. The purpose of this video is to introduce all of you to what iLAAC is. Okay, many of you already know who I am. Either you know me because you're family or friends, or maybe you just know me via social media or whatever. A lot of you guys know who I am. But you have no idea what iLAAC is. I've suggested that many of you like the iLAAC Facebook page, and you probably had no idea what it is or what the purpose was behind why I asked you to like that page. Or you might not even know that I'm running it. What iLAAC is, well, first off, what it stands for is Inspiring Lives, Activity, and Creativity. Okay? But to sum things up and to break it down in as simple of a way as possible, iLAAC is designed to help people. The whole object behind creating iLAAC is to help people. And we'll get into talking more about what I mean by helping people in just a few. First off, let me just go through a little bit of a disclaimer, I guess you could say. There's no political, there's no religious, there's no commercial, financial motivation behind any of this, okay? I'm not tied to any organizations. iLAAC is iLAAC, that's it. It's something that this guy here, this big head, created because I feel like this could be a major contribution to the world that maybe I should try to implement. This is what I'm supposed to do kind of thing. One of my many projects, but I think this one's going to be a big one. That's the goal anyways. The other thing is that this whole video is off the cuff. This is not scripted. I'm going to get tongue-tied. I'm going to ramble on about dumb stuff that doesn't make any sense, and I apologize in advance. But it's unscripted. Everything's off the cuff, and I kind of want to keep things like that as much as possible because the point is to be real with you guys. With everything that I'm doing, whether it be the videos or any of the other projects that go on. I want them to be real and genuine. If I swear or say something stupid, that's me. That's who I am, you know. So genuineness is important for me. It's important when it's a trait that I admire in others, and hopefully people admire that in me and respect that it's important to me, and that's why I'm presenting it to you that way. Anyway, iLAAC and the point of this. First off, the YouTube channel has a bunch of random videos on there. No real targeted path that any of them are going down. They're all over the place. Different subject content is different subjects as far as content is concerned. That's intentional. We got two different things going on here. Two people are going to run into these videos. Those that are already paying attention to iLAAC and don't know what iLAAC is, hopefully now you do. And those that have no knowledge of iLAAC, okay? And they're just running across these videos at random on YouTube because of a search that they're looking for, some keywords that happens to be related to a subject that they're trying to find more information on for whatever reasons. Hopefully I can get those people to pay attention to what iLAAC is, and maybe one or two of them will get something out of it. The idea behind the videos is simply to help people either be more creative, introduce them into new ideas, not necessarily new ideas as far as the idea, but maybe new ideas to you. Give you something to do, something to think about, maybe a new hobby, new project, something to go explore, whatever, and then to help people that are just looking for that information. The channel will take off as far as a couple of targeted paths, and I'll talk a little bit about those here in a minute. Basically, I'm gonna try to implement some shows that are constant, no random videos. There'll be random videos, but these won't be random. These will be very targeted series of videos. Again, we'll talk about that in a minute. Why did I try to create iLAAC? What's my point, my goal behind it? It's a long answer. Hopefully you guys will care enough to listen to it. Basically, I'm 35 years old. I'm going to be 36 next month. Life hasn't been easy. Life has been full of ups and downs like everybody else's, and some of it really extreme and some of it not so extreme. I know that for a fact, as I've learned this as I've gotten older. I know for a fact one of my saving graces, I guess you can say, the thing that's kept me from failing and to just getting soaked up by all the problems was my overwhelming desire to be creative, and to explore, whether if it's a location, whether if it's an idea or a hobby or a skill. Doesn't matter. Exploring is exploring to me. And if it's new and I even find it even the slightest bit interesting, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to check it out, because who knows, I might really enjoy it. But it was that ability to explore and to create. I'm a handy person. Some of you know me through Alvarez Metalworks, which is my other YouTube channel. I'll put the link in I'll put that link down in the description for you guys to check that out. Welder fabricator. Again, I'm making things. I like to make stuff. Like to be creative. That's kept me from failing. It's pulled me out of pure pressure situations. It's pulled me out of emotional situations when it comes to lost loved ones, and it's kept my head kept my head above water through a lot of struggles in life, and I think people not misunderstand, but they underestimate how much that can help them. Okay? Creativity creates success. Creating goals and trying to achieve those goals, regardless of how big or small they are, creates success. Success is defined by ourselves. We define success. Nobody else can define your success. They can tell you that you're a successful person, but you are the only one that can define it for yourself. Success breeds confidence. It also breeds happiness, because when you are successful, you are happy about being, your success. That's something that we all understand. When we accomplish something, it puts a smile on our face. We're happy. Especially when other people notice it too. When other people notice it, we get all kinds of excited. Because that's just our basic human instinct. So, with that being said, a lot of those videos is to help breed that creativity, that success, that confidence, and try to get that going within people. But ultimately, why this was all created was because of my frustration with people in general. Okay? That's probably my biggest frustration in life, is just dealing with people. Not any one specific person or any specific type of person, just people. It seems like I don't know if it's intentional that people do this, or if it's a subconscious thing, but it seems like we all end up putting blinders on, like we almost believe that we're the only ones here. Like, this little thing that's inside of us that it looks like it's looking out the windows is the only one here, and everything else is, a robot or an accessory to our life. Or maybe we feel like we're lost and insignificant, not as important or not as affected by things around us that these other people have going on. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, sorry. But those are my frustrations because, I see friends and family members and people that I'm associated with. I see them all the time struggle with stuff. And I see perfect strangers just being completely horrible to each other. Horrible. And I don't understand why. I understand, but I don't understand. Because I can understand somebody losing their temper. I can understand somebody doing something based off of emotion that maybe they normally wouldn't do. But I don't understand how people can just be genuinely awful to each other or engulf themselves in failure. I know how it happens, but I don't understand why they can't realize that that's what's happening, especially when somebody tells them it's happening. So rather than getting frustrated with all these people, I figured maybe it was time for me to start a new project, start something else for myself to try to accomplish and breed a little bit of success and happiness from. And that's iLAAC. And instead of getting frustrated with these people, try to help them. Try to help them understand who they are, why they're here, what they should be focused on, and not what they should be focused on, but because they're going to make that decision, not me. But help them find that in themselves, whatever it is, and help them focus on that, and to just grow and develop as people, and not fall down the hill, and not just sit stagnant and riding below the radar, and to help them constantly understand and remind themselves that I can keep going, I can keep growing, I can keep breeding the success that I'm creating for myself. I just have to keep pushing. And the more I push, the more I'm going to enjoy my life, the more confidence I'm going to have in myself as a person, and the more I'm going to walk around with a smile on my face. And that's ultimately what this all boils down to. It's really, really complicated. I know it's probably not making a lot of sense to some of you guys at this point, because trying to explain ideas and concepts for something this big is not an easy thing, at least for me to do. But hopefully this has given you guys a little bit better understanding on what's going on here. Right now I'm at the infancy stage of building this, so I'm just trying to get the foundation built, plant the roots, get something stable, developed, and then take off. I've got some ideas as far as directions I want to go in initially once I can get that stable base. I want some local programs here in Syracuse, New York, programs for youth, adults, and one specific thing that I really want to spend some time focusing on. I'm not going to touch a lot on this subject because it's really complicated, and I've got a lot of work to do on it. But I want to create a program for men. One of my experiences in life, and one of my most significant experiences in life, is for the time period that I was a 100% full-time single father to my daughter. Okay, that was an extremely difficult situation for me. It was not an easy task by any means. I'm not single anymore. You know, I've got my fiance, she's got her daughter, and we got our family that we're building. Um, but before that point, it was extremely difficult. And there was some financial difficulties, and there was times where I didn't have the financial problems nearly as much. But in those times where things were really, really bad and really, really tough, I discovered that there's not a lot of help out there for guys, okay, for men. Um, there's this common stereotype that society has put on men that we should just be able to handle anything that life throws at us because we're tough, we're strong, and we shouldn't let these things hold us back. And we can make things work, and we're the alpha male. You know, well, that's not true. Okay, that's not only not true, but it's unhealthy for us to instill that in our youth, our boys, and into adults that are struggling to stay afloat. You know, there's men all the time that end up being horrible fathers, horrible husbands, just horrible people in general. And a lot of it is spawned from these stereotypes and this alpha male mentality, and it it needs to be addressed. It definitely needs to be addressed because, you know, we're not living in a society like it used to be where we had mom and dad in a committed relationship. Whether that relationship was healthy or not didn't really matter. The relationship was there. Mom and dad were there in the past, way before I was born. But that was, you know, divorce wasn't a common thing. Nowadays, you know, we all know that not only is divorce common, but raising children on our own is very common. And unfortunately, there's a lot of men that are coming up short in the responsibility with these children and with these relationships, and there's good reason for it. It may be stupid reasons, but there's good reasons. And yes, there's a difference. It sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. We'll talk about that once this program gets started. But anyway, then we have the situation where women are raising boys on their own. And the common stereotype, which I don't agree with, is that a woman can't raise a boy to become a man, not properly. Well, I think that's not only BS, but I know it to be BS because I was raised by my mother. Both me and my brother were raised by my mother. And I believe I've turned out to be a pretty good man. Not the best. Definitely have a whole lot of room to grow. But I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I never gave up on my kid. I treat my fiance really well. I love her, and if in this day and age, that's not a common thing for a guy to be able to take legitimate claim to. Okay, now granted, I'm grading on a curve here because we have such a problem in society right now with men, that I can grade myself on that curve. And I'm not trying to boast myself or boost myself up or anything, but what I'm saying is that I know that women can do that. I know that women can raise boys to become good men. But sometimes some people need some help. You know, my mom was a really strong person, and part of what made me stronger is that I actually lost her at a very young age, from cancer. So, but with that being said, this help that I think that men should get is not there in any form or fashion right now. There's a lot of help for mothers, there's a lot of help for women, whether it be abused women, single mothers, financial help, welfare help. It doesn't really matter. There's help from all aspects of that. There's helps top to bottom. For children, same thing. There's help all over the map for children. But there's like nothing for men. Like, I don't know of anything. And as I was going through that single father stage, I realized how bad that really was. It's to the point where, I'm not going to get into some of the details on that because that's for another video. But it's really bad. And I think something needs to be done about it. And that's a program that I want to implement where I can try to help men. And it won't be an easy program to kick into gear because, guys have egos. They have a hard time admitting their weaknesses. But I think it can happen, and that's something that I do plan on implementing with iLAAC at some point. As far as anything above and beyond that, there's going to be some, I'm not sure if I said this already, I've shot this video like 20,000 times already. There's going to be some of this, what we have going on right now, which is basically me talking to you guys, but I want to do it live. So it can't get implemented until I have enough support to do so. But I want to do it live where you guys are able to communicate back to me via social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, doesn't matter. However you guys can communicate back, I'll figure that out once I feel that I have enough attention and support to make that a successful venture. Another thing would be like a podcast. That'll probably get developed before the live chat. The podcast will be something, it's not going to be a podcast per se. I just call it that because that's what people kind of associate it with. It's like Q-tips. It's a brand, but they call all of them Q-tips. Whatever. Basically discussions. Not live, but filmed live. And what you get is what you get. We'll have topics, defined topics of discussion, and who those people that are discussing those topics may vary. They will vary. And all those topics will be related to life experiences and open-minded conversations. No debates. Absolutely not. No debates. Debates can be extremely unhealthy. And I'm hard-pressed to find anything positive out of a debate. Okay? Debates are always created by two different sets of ideas trying to convince this other set that they are wrong, vice versa. An open-minded conversation is not based on telling somebody that they're wrong. And when you go into a conversation with this mindset of that I know everything, and if you say anything that varies off from that, you're wrong, then the conversation is pointless and useless in my opinion. So we're not going to have any of that. These will be open-minded conversations, brainstorming almost. And however that turns out is how it turns out. Just healthy stuff to get people's minds turning, get the hamster running on that wheel. Again, that's creativity. Okay, you might not be drawing a picture, taking a photograph, painting portrait, but to get your brain to think is creativity. You're creating concepts and ideas and possibilities. That will be the idea behind those discussions. So that's something that I want to implement as well. And again, sky's the limit. But those are initial ideas that I want to get going. But it's a matter of attention. I need to have the support there from you guys that are watching. You now have at least a little bit of an idea of what this is all about and the point of all of this. And hopefully you'll support it. Share the page with others, please. Share this video with others. And let's move forward with this, see where it goes. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I told you this was unscripted. So, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page if you haven't. If you choose to use Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Again, Google Plus, add us to your circles. Follow us on Google Plus. The whole works. Our website's not quite up. Not quite, it's not up. We do have a website address and a static page that says go to Facebook, but I'm working on that. I need to. That's not going to go live until it's the way it needs to be. The website is going to be interactive, where you guys can participate on the website and use it. So it's not something where there's just content. I want you guys to contribute. So that's something I'm working on as well. I'll let you know when that's up. Don't have to worry about that. Thanks for watching. I know this was long. I hope you guys made it through to the very end. And I hope you like the idea and the concept behind what I'm trying to do here. And thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.